Mm-hmm.
And as he starts walking towards me, he looks mad. And that's when I could see his face. I never really lost consciousness, so I could hear everything that was going on. And I'll always remember there was a doctor that was there from Tulsa.
Mm-hmm.
He came to visit his dad in the hospital, and they were discussing, cutting my pants off so they could see exactly where the wounds were.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, they're like, cut them off. And I said, no one had scissors. And I said, just pull them off. And so he looked at me and he was like, pull them off. And I said, yes. And so he pulled them off and they started counting. They were like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I'm like, what are they doing? Mm-hmm. And then he kind of turns me to the side and he's like, 7, 8. I never knew I had been shot. I don't know what I thought they were counting,
Mm-hmm.
but because I only felt 2. Right. And it was like an instant. I was never in any pain, I never got numb or anything. Mm-hmm. And from there, I just remember going on to OU and being in surgery and waking up the next day. I think a lot of times the reason women don't come forward because they don't want the criticism.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when I got out of the hospital and someone saying, well, she didn't look at his background. But they don't always have a background. There's always those women that don't tell. So if you're dating this guy or woman and you look them up and there's no history of domestic violence and you assume, okay, there's no domestic violence. Mm-hmm. For that, every woman or 2 that doesn't report, mm-hmm. you don't see that. So you have no idea, because in Oklahoma, there's a high majority of women that will file them mm-hmm. and then don't go through with them. So they're not there.
Right.
So, you can't really fault them. And like I said, a lot of women feel that they're not going to be believed mm-hmm. or they're frightened. If I do this, what is the retribution? Even in my case, when I did it, there were people that said, well, she did that and this is the most dangerous time to leave. They will kill you no matter what. Mm-hmm. Whether you file that BPO, whether you left. And so this is just a way of having, it's like a paper trail. Mm-hmm. Because the minute that with the survivor bill coming in where it states that, you can show just cause or there was past abuse, mm-hmm. if you never report it and you have to defend yourself, whether you have to stab this person to keep them off or shoot them, if you don't have that paper trail, that's the difference between you getting off or going to prison.
Right.
For defending yourself.
That is so true.